I am going to eat some meatballs and spaghetti topped with Parmigiano Reggiano, the real Parmesan cheese. I remember a few years back when I made an eating video, and somebody said, if you say Parmesan cheese is not real cheese, or not real Parmesan cheese, and I'm like, well, it was Parmigiano Reggiano, so it's real, but this time I'm going to be politically correct, especially for you. Parmigiano Reggiano. So I made this a few days ago, about 2 days ago, and it was sitting in my fridge. So I thought to myself, I am going to eat these leftovers for dinner, and we can enjoy it together. So if you want to have lunch or dinner with me, or breakfast, please pause this video right now, go make yourself something, and then we can eat together. So, let's take the first bite. I know this might look like a lot of food, but normally I put this in a bowl. And this is about a normal size portion, but it might look different on camera. But it was requested for me to do a spaghetti eating video. Whoever you are out there, I heard you. So obviously there's different ways you can eat this. I like to eat it with a spoon and fork, which I recently discovered is for beginners. And you can also just eat it with a fork. I usually don't do that because I find it too messy. But let me take a bite with just a fork. I just reheated this, so it's quite hot. I definitely did not chew that enough. So it was requested by a few of you to post the link down below to whatever recipe I am making, which I will, but I did kind of wing this one. I didn't have a whole lot of time when I cooked this, so I used frozen Italian meatballs. And what else is in here is pepper and zucchini and onion and garlic. Although garlic in pasta, this type of pasta is not traditional. Let's take another bite without the spoon. Even though eating it with a spoon is considered for kids and beginners, I just like it better because it's not so messy. please let me know down below. Oh, I also put some mushrooms in here. I totally should have grabbed a napkin, but I didn't. Did you know that napkins, eating and then using napkins only became really a thing for me when I moved to Canada? I never really had to use napkins when I lived in the Netherlands. Because most food was just, quite neat. So how have you been doing? And also, do you still like these monthly eating videos? Or is it starting to get too much? I'm starting to clear part of my plate over here. The perspective and the angle on the camera can look quite different in real life. I like to cut my meatballs in four. And also, eating meatballs and spaghetti was something I never really used to do until I moved to Canada. Do you like meatballs and spaghetti? I think it's quite tasty. So quite a few weeks back, in one of my eating videos, I talked about how I really like Ozark. And by the time you've seen this, I've definitely watched it, but I watched the last part of Ozark season 4. My mouth is slowly becoming orange. And I won't give any spoilers. But in my opinion, when Chris and I watched the last episode of Ozark, we didn't even realize it was the last episode. And even though the last episode did give us closure, that was a big bite. the last episode, our last two episodes for that matter, gave us that much closure. It was definitely, we definitely got closure, but not as much as I would have liked to. I don't like shows that have an open ending or that don't have enough closure. I think Ozark was kind of on the border for me. It had closure, but not like a whole lot. One of my favorite shows that had an incredibly lame ending, unfortunately, in my opinion, was Man in the High Castle. As some of you may know, is that I am very fascinated by the Second World War, and I believe that if you don't learn from history, you're going to make the same mistakes again. So I kind of see it as a duty to educate myself about the Second World War and the First World War that led into the Second World War in some ways. And Men in the High Castle is about what if the Nazis would have won the Second World War? Pasta sauce on my chin. And it's interesting in that sense. But the ending was so sci-fi and so out of this world. But yeah, when an ending is that open, it is hard to close off the series in your head, by the way, so to speak. Everything is kind of melting together in my head in terms of COVID. So I can't remember exactly when Squid Game came out. I watched it. Who didn't? Most people did. And Squid Game, I was completely mind blown by Squid Game. And I read an article a few weeks ago. And there is going to be a season 2, which I'm excited about. But I cannot get too excited yet because it's going to come out at the end of 2023 next year. So I'm very excited for that. It's still far away, but I'm definitely excited to see how this show is going to continue. This is so messy to eat on camera, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever eaten spaghetti on camera. Like, ever. of my previous eating videos. But another show that I really, really love that came out with a new season, which I'm going to watch soon, and might already have watched by the time this video is going to be uploaded, but it's Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. The different, and that's all I'll say about it because I don't want to give away anything if you haven't watched it. The different animation styles are so cool. So I almost worked my way through this big plate of food. So I think I said in the previous video that I like to eat my biggest meal for lunch, which is true. Still true. But that's not the case this time. My dinner is definitely bigger than my lunch. Okay, I think I can do one more bite and I'm done. Pasta's so filling. So soon I want to do a Q&A video because I haven't done one of those in many, many years. And I thought it would be fun to for you to get to know me again. Like, I've changed quite a bit, I think. So, kind of wanted to do that in this video. Like, ask you, like, do you have any questions for me? But since we're at the end of the video, and a lot of people don't make it to the end of the video, I'll ask it at the beginning. Soon. In a new video. But for now, I am definitely done eating. I think I need to go and wash my mouth because it's a bit orange. So I hope you enjoyed having this little chit chat with me and having lunch or dinner or breakfast.